Hello everyone, welcome to Rockshire Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we are going to be taking a look at the day 2 and 3 reveals for Zombicide White Death. I usually do these videos the night of when they do a major expansion announcement or anything like, or another major like optional buy announcement. So one of those two things did happen on Friday afternoon. However, my schedule just in private life not doing this was crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at those things today and maybe some other stuff later today. But for right now, this video, we are going to be just concentrating on day 2 and 3 of the White Death campaign. So let's go ahead and flip over and see what's going on. All right, so currently in the campaign, they have raised $1,057,374 with 10,505 backers with 18 days to go. Technically, we're still on day 3 right now. If you're going by 24-hour to 24-hour mark, I'm filming this at 11:16 on April the 8th. I don't know why I couldn't. I'm looking right at the date. I don't know why I couldn't say words. But this is technically still day 3, but as far as day of the week, this is Saturday, it's day 4. So let's go ahead and go with day 4. Right here is, like I said, the numbers, and I think they went down just now. People adjusting their pledges and whatnot. So first, before we move into anything, let's go ahead, before we actually look at the stretch goals and see other things that went on, let's kind of go ahead and compare where we're at with Zombicide, Black Plague, and Green Horde, which is kind of odd. So right now, total survivors. I'm only going by total survivors, what we added. Not saying how many we added today. If I need to, before the next update, I'll look into readjusting those numbers. But currently, right now, survivor-wise, we are at 22 unlocked survivors in this game. With the Black Plague, we had 19 survivors. With Green Horde, we had 18 survivors. We also have, with this campaign, 5 named abominations in this campaign so far, with 1 named necromancer. Black Plague at this point only had 1 named abomination, and Green Horde had 5 named abominations and 1 named necromancer. There, I said 2 in the last video because there was a necromancer, or there was a character that I thought was a necromancer. It wasn't. It was actually a survivor. I misquoted, so I readjusted the numbers there. So with that said, though it looks like we have more survivors and everything in this campaign, the actual numbers are kind of interesting because we have the same amount of stretch goals unlocked in this campaign so far that Green Horde had. And the thing to remember with Green Horde is that they, like Black Plague, had the stretch goals that were 1 extra necromancer, 4 more runners, 5 more walkers, 1 more abomination, 4 more fatties, now called brutes. So alternate sculpts, I believe, for those. Also, Black Plague, which at this point has, in this point in the campaign, 2-3 days in, has 39 unlocked stretch goals for the same amount of time. But they also, again, had 5 more walkers, 4 more runners, 4 more fatties. They also had a bunch of the NPC zombies, which I'm not exactly sure what the difference was with those, besides the fact that they were extra alternate sculpts. I'm not sure if they had extra rules. I didn't go in deep into it. But even that 4 more NPC zombies, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instances of that on here. They also had things like 12 NPC spawn cards through there as a stretch goal, 1 first player metal coin as a stretch goal, a dice bag as a stretch goal, a dice tower as a stretch goal, 6 custom black dice as a stretch goal. So they had a lot of things that weren't specific named survivors and specific named abominations or stuff like that as stretch goals to that first Black Plague. So we, like I said, they have a lot of stretch goals in that one. Also translates to money as well. But as far as money goes, the definitive stretch goal that we have unlocked today brought in $1,020,000. At this point in the other two campaigns, Black Plague had 1,500,000 at the last unlock that last definitive unlock that it had. And well, I'm sorry, 1,425,000 was the last official unlock they had at the end of day 3, with no expansion announced at all in that game. And Green Horde had unlocked 1,760,000 with only a what do you call them, guest artist box that was with just a couple zombies in it announced. The Black Plague had 2 of those boxes announced by this point. So they hadn't announced either one in Green Horde of the 2 expansions that were in the game yet. So yeah, now again, I don't know what to make of those numbers. I don't know if it's because of the fact that people just aren't digging the fantasy theme. Or not the fantasy theme, the Asian fantasy theme, I guess you can say, the Asian medieval theme. They're leaning very heavily into that. I think a lot of people's problem, and I can understand the problem. I think there's a lot of people with the way the artwork kind of was looking in all the promotion stuff going into the campaign, was that this was, I think a lot of people were thinking of looking about a lot more Game of Thrones references and that kind of stuff in this campaign. Instead, we're getting a lot of Japanese and Chinese and Indian references in there. Like a good half of the survivors are all various Chinese generals from like the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era and that kind of stuff. So I mean, half of my list on here going over where these references are coming from, if I could find where these references were coming from, I'll point out that it's a general in the Eastern Han Dynasty from Three Kingdoms. Like this one's from Three Kingdoms. This one's from Three Kingdoms. So it's a lot of Three Kingdoms references in this campaign so far. And again, I don't know if it's just people not digging that part of the theme, thinking it was going to be more of either European or Eastern European themed. But like I said, I don't remember in the last video making any like negative comments. I remember pointing out the fact that there was a lot of skin on the miniatures, but like the overall like art style and everything has grown on me more and more and more, especially with some of the stuff that was revealed today or in the last 2 days. I'm really digging this art style. It looks really cool. I can't wait to play this game. I will be backing this game. But we will see how this progresses. But now, as far as one last comparison, I don't have like a whole list down of how many characters were unlocked and on what days and this, that, and the other. But I will say, comparing this to a more recent game, I got it written down here. So at the end of day 3 on Undead or Alive, they needed to unlock Miguel, and they didn't unlock him on day 3. He got unlocked on day 4, but his stretch goal was $1,050,000, so $10,000 below the current stretch goal that is going on right now in White Death. So technically, we are. I mean, and maybe I might add it into my comparisons, but technically, right now we are tracking along with Undead or Alive, which I am still mad that I did not buy Undead or Alive. Jake bought Undead or Alive. I think the 0 mission is up on the channel right now, and we've played through the first main mission of Undead or Alive. I will be posting that as soon as I can edit that down. Spoilers, that was a rough one. That was definitely a rough one. I would actually love to replay through it and redo it, but it's I'm not gonna say what the outcome was, but the way we got to where we got to, rough. Anyway, back to this. So let's go ahead. Let me move my spreadsheet out of my face. You guys can't see it, but I'm gonna move it away from me and go ahead and talk about the stretch goals. So the first goal here was maybe a tiger does change its stripes. So we unlocked Dine Wee at the end with the 710, and the next stretch goal we got was for, ironically, a survivor named Bayako Maru. Now, I can read through this as his startling appearance comes from his quest to ultimate power, a thing for which all warriors and samurai strive, yet few achieve. Indeed, there can be no final destination on a path where the journey itself is the true goal. I don't know exactly where this character is coming from. He looks pretty cool. I'm actually surprised when I looked at him that he is a survivor in the game. If you guys know where he's coming from, let me know in the comments. But I couldn't doing a quick Google search, and I mean like quick, like a doesn't go through in the first time. First search, no idea. But yeah, I don't know exactly where this is coming from. Most likely, it's probably coming from either Japanese or Chinese, like folklore kind of thing, or unless this is just another one of the tiger people race cards that just power up like as a wizard kind of thing. That might just be what that is too. But he again looks like it's gonna be some kind of a magic user in the game, so that is gonna be pretty awesome. The next update, making amends with his past. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog in the background. Wife and kids are doing stuff in the house, so she's reacting to it. Next update here, making amends for his past. So we unlocked Mayako Maru at 740k, and now we've got Sha Wujing at 70 or 770k. He is going to be another I think melee combatant. I don't think there was anything in here about him having any. Monk showed him great disdain when he picked. So yeah, so he's gonna be another character here. He was a disciple of Tang Sung Zhang. He from what I can tell, he was a character coming out of Journey to the West. I didn't see any like historical historical reference to the character, but he is a character in Journey to the West. Is where we're getting this character here from. Again, I remember when on day one, like one or two people made comments about the fact that these were like all like original characters, but I think other than the animal characters, the majority of these characters are historical and either from historical fact or some kind of historical fiction already. But most of them all have a reference. So for all these stretch goals, the next stretch goal here is going to be an abomination. So we got this last character here at 770. I'm butchering all the names, just so you know. I said it in the first video. It's the blatant disclaimer for the rest of it. I'm going to butcher everyone except for Red Hair here. So the next one we're going to have is an abomination named Red Hair. Ancient myth holds that Red Hair was the seed of the first emperor, capable of leaping across vast rivers and scaling sheer cliffs with ease. This warhorse was a deadly implement in combat, carrying the first emperor to victory even when his own troops deserted him. Though it grew weaker as it aged, its spirit still burnt bright. Even death could not bear to put down such a magnificent creature. The Red Hair was instead granted a second life as the patron spirit of all seeds. To see the avatar of such noble spirit in this state is certainly a pity. This horse was the horse of the warlord Lu Bu. It comes from the Three Kingdoms era, so that's where the reference, I believe, comes from what I could figure out. You can move across the battlefield in seconds with very little effort and charge towards survivors at incredible speeds. Probably going to be an abomination with a double move, some or multiple actions where you can move to in a turn, something like that. And then you'll get a fragment of its power when you defeat it. So it looks like a lot of the abominations are going to give some kind of a boon when you take them down. At least the abominations that are being created from some kind of a deity of some sort. Although this isn't really a deity character, but we'll see how that works out in the game. So that's pretty cool. Pretty good artwork right there for it. I'm really getting like armored evil. Was it Ponyta vibes from Pokemon right there? Yeah, that's Yeah, gotta catch them all and stay frosty. So that is where that's coming from. The next looks like the next update here with Fang's Bard, he charges fourth. So the next stretch goal is going to be for Kidomaru. Kidomaru, all I have written down is he's an Ani. I don't know if he's any relation to Bayako Maru from before. Oh, the one looks like a tiger, the other one looks like a human. But I just have that he is possibly in some kind of Oni, and maybe not. I don't see it written in here at all. Raised by wolves, the mighty demon hunter known as Kidomaru is an incredibly talented warrior with an unpredictable style and might be the most irritating survivor you've ever met. His value in battle is incalculable, and yet one almost wishes this brash, outspoken, rather insulting young man would miss his mark just once. But no, the world needs all the heroes it can get, and Kidomaru is just the kind of warrior to get demand or to warrior in great demand just now. If he could only direct his insults exclusively at the zombies, though. So he's gonna be a swordsman. He's gonna be a melee character. So we're gonna have another melee character in there. Probably not gonna have any skills involving range. Might have some guard commands that involve attacking at range, but we'll see. So that is gonna be that character right there. Next, I think was an unlock. Daily unlock. So this is the first official daily unlock. So we are getting Rakshasa. This is going to be a walker, and as far as I can tell, it is a single walker. It says they're not always evil people who sought to disrupt and destroy the empire. Yet events of the past caused the cultures of to violently conflict, and ever since then, a seething hatred has existed, with Rakshasa living in hidden communities scattered across the empire. They are powerful foes, though thankfully few, particularly now that the Black Plague has twisted many of this species into abominations and nightmares. So let's see. He says bloodthirsty shapeshifter is a tricky foe to take down, hiding behind other zombies to avoid attacks aimed at it. Better to put it down quickly with a slash of its claws, because with a slash of its claws, it deals additional wounds to each survivor in the zone. So it's going to do more than one hit when it attacks you. As far as I can tell, there's only one of these of this walker. When they do these exclusives, they only give you one walker, so it's not like you get like a fleet of them. Now with that said, I bumped the camera, sorry. With that said, at the end of the not Black Plague, with the end of the Undead or Alive campaign, they did add in what they add in? They added in a stretch goal that gave you an extra one of their what they considered were their most popular I think the daily giveaways. I think that's what they did with that. So we'll see if that happens with this one. But this is again a single walker that will a single walker that you can add to your already existing walkers. Will probably have a reference card to put out for when it does show up in the game. Or I don't know exactly how they do that. They'd have to adjust the spawn deck somehow, but. Anyway, so that is the first walker. We are now going, we're still on day 2, and we are revealing the time for diplomacy has passed. We are unlocking Kodai Inn for $870,000 here after an incident where a very young Kodai Inn, also known as Nini Sugihara, insulted the emperor when he visited her family's estate. Her mortified family sent her to live in a nearby monastery. So it's partially what I got on here is that she was an aristocrat and then a Buddhist nun in Japan. It looks like not only did she learn to govern her tongue, she also learned how to fight, excelling at nearly every aspect, putting many senior adepts into shame. She thinks often of founding her own temple to bring the wisdom and skills she learned to the people, but before that can happen, she'll have to deal with all these zombies. So yeah, she's going to be another, looks like melee fighter in that, so that's going to be pretty cool. I do like the sculpts for a lot of these. You can't really tell in this picture, but she does have, looks like some face makeup, it's the eye makeup there that looks pretty cool. It's gonna be difficult if you're a painter to paint. I'm trying to get in there with that. So, but yeah, again, another great sculpt, another great artwork. I'm really do dig all the various artwork in this game. I think it looks pretty cool. So, and then we're gonna get to, I think, what is our last reveal for day 2 is going to be Zuxi. He's going to be at a cool 900,000. He is going to be a spellcaster. He makes no claim to being the oldest living person in the Empire. He says that what he does now is not precisely living, and elaborates no further. Even a man of mystery and mighty power, his rather famous feud with the particular warlord has reached a legendary status with feats. Okay, so he's going to be another spellcaster character. Let's see. He has centuries of knowledge at his fingertips, allowing him free access to almost limitless arsenal of spells. Having studied the arcane for so long, it also means having studied the arcane for so long also means that many incantations committed to memory. He has many incantations committed to memory, allowing him to cast spells rapidly without giving it much thought. So we'll see how that looks. Now, with that said, on that one, this is also the post where they just happened to announce that the Zombicide, not Zombicide, CMON Comics Volume 2 pre-order was, I think, coming to a close. It was going to have some stuff for Black Plague. All content offered with Black Plague will be fully compatible with all games from the fantasy line, including White Death, and its new rules for Abominations and Necromancers. It also includes crossover components for Massive Darkness 2. So, what you may not know yet is the pre-order is reaching its end, closing on April 14th. Today is April 8th, so you have 6 more days to do that pre-order if you would like. So I do find it funny actually reading through this. They say specifically, they talk about the Black Plague content being available, but they also do make a mention of that it has crossover components with Massive Darkness 2. So I don't know if they're just saying that to say, hey, if you own Massive Darkness 2, this will have some crossover with that. I know a lot of people are asking for crossover stuff with Massive Darkness 2 for this one, so I guess we'll see how that goes, if they're alluding to something else along the horizon or not. But yeah, that's going to be everything for I think that's everything for day 2. Yep, so now we're going to go into day 3. So, a huge fan of Revenge. So, Zuxi was unlocked on day 3. And if I remember correctly, I think there was like 2 or 3 unlocks before like most people, like in Eastern and Western time zone, or woke up. I think when I woke up, there was like 2 additional updates coming out. So, yeah, so the next thing was the Tengu Abomination, or no, I'm sorry, Tengu Necromancer. That's where I'm at. Let me scroll. Tengu Necromancer. Contrary to traditional folklore, the Tengu are not demons, but supernatural creatures more akin to Baki Denaku. Yeah, so that said, they often cause chaos and conflict, which is what I have written down. Disruptive demons and harbingers of war. So they are going to be a new abominations. They fly across the board quickly, leaving corruption in their wake. If you are prepared to face the chaos that ensues while he's on a board, you might even get a reward for your efforts. So again, they're rewarding. I don't know if they did this in other games, but you're getting some kind of boon reward from the abominations. So there's that. It's interesting because this is also the first mention that we have, or no, I keep thinking this is an abomination. I don't know why I keep thinking this is an abomination. This is a necromancer. That's why I'm realizing that he's leaving corruption. I was going to say something completely different. That was completely off base. But this is a necromancer that is going to be able to leave corruption, fly across the board. So again, I'm wondering if this is going to be a so this is going to be a mobile one. So the Defiler Necromancer is only going to stay in one spot. This one's looking like it's going to be flying across the board and doing different things. Maybe having the same old mechanic of trying to leave the board. So when he's trying to leave and get to another spawn zone, he's going to leave corruption on the way, and thus creating additional spawn zones for the zombies to come out of. So we'll see how that works. But there is your Tengu right there. The next, I think, was a daily unlock again. So the Tengu did not get released by noon on Friday. So as we go through here, we're getting another survivor. We're going to have Sarana Farsight. I didn't even go to look for to see if this one was um, any kind of historical thing, because it's a fox or dog, one of the two. She's heightened sense of smell allows her to detect foes from a mile away while lining up her shot and picking them off. Her inhuman strength allows her to launch arrows toward her foes at such great distances without losing their lethality. So I may wonder if this is going to be one where she's going to be able to add to range when she fires. So in the next clue for day 3, yeah, day 3. So it says day 3. We're on day 3 right now, but they didn't start doing the unlocks until day 2 officially. It technically was on day 1. So with the daily unlock, they're going by the 24-hour day, not like from 3 to 3, not from midnight to midnight. So technically, yes, it's 10:41 right now. That means another daily unlock for the day 3 unlock will be unlocked in an hour and 20 minutes. By the time this goes out, there'll at least be a daily unlock. Let's actually go real quick while we're looking at it. Nope, it hasn't changed. I gotta figure out where I was. There I was. So that is going to be that first daily, or no, the second daily unlock right there. Got a couple more unlocks for day 3 coming up. Where are we at with time? Yep. Oh. So the next thing that there's not an unlock on the next update here. We're on update. Which update is this? I don't know which update we're on. I'll look it up here in a minute. The next update, though, was not for a stretch goal unlock. We were still trying to unlock the Tengu at this point, it looks like. But we now get Enter the Eternal Empire. So this is going to be, that's pretty cool artwork for it. This artwork, if you were going to slap this on the White Death cover, this artwork would definitely invoke that, yes, this is going to be a Asian themed Zombicide. Again, I think I pointed out in one of my first update video, or my second update video from a while ago, that the armor was very Asian medieval themed. But yeah, this would give me no doubt that we were going to be doing medieval Asian Zombicide in this. But anyway, nestled in the depths of the wintry land, far from other civilizations, the Eternal Empire has finally opened its gates to outsiders in search of help against the zombie plague. So this Eternal Empire is going to be a $45 expansion. So our game has now gone officially from 100 to 110 to $155. So make sure you keep those running totals, because they haven't had any kind of all-in pledge yet. We're not going to until like day, what's this, 21-day campaigns. We're not going to get that till like day 20 or 19 maybe. But these are things that are going to be in this campaign. My watch is acting weird. We're going to have 6 new survivors, 1 abomination, 8 warden brutes, which are going to be the green ones on the screen, I believe, on there. I think I saw someone comment, why are they green? And we're going to get to that in a minute. 8 warden brutes, 3 chi statues, 4 game tiles, 1 abomination card, 12 survivor ID cards. What do I 12 survivor ID cards? That's weird. 12 survivor ID cards, 60 zombie cards, 136 objective cards, 37 tokens, 72 equipment cards, 1 campaign sheet notepad, and 1 rule book. And yes, the campaign stuff that is in there, this is actually going to be a campaign expansion, similar to the was the Washington DC one, Washington DC one from 2nd edition Zombicide, and the Gears and Guns from Undead or Alive. So it's going to hit retail. It says right in here it will hit retail for $50. So you're getting a $5 discount here from it is a option to buy, and you're also going to get 2 extra survivors that you can see right here. It says Chang Yi and Ho Yi. I'm giving up. So I swear, like, this is man, this campaign's gonna be brutal for me. Okay, so they have the list of everything I just read. Oh, here it is. 12 survivor ID cards, including cards with the chi skill for core box survivor. Oh, that's why. Oh. So I wonder then if so we're gonna get, so this is gonna come with alternate cards for the chi mechanic for the core box cards. Awesome. So that means, so I don't know why they would do that, but, or I know why they do that. So it makes me then wonder if all of the, oh, what are they going to do with all the stretch goal characters then? So are they also going to have the chi mechanic built into their cards already, or are they going to add it, like, oh man. So that makes me wonder how they're going to implement it all, because the 6 core box survivors makes sense because this is going to go to retail regardless. They're not necessarily going to, they wouldn't necessarily make it to where all the stretch goals use the chi mechanic, because they don't know what the stretch, they know with the expansion that you have to have the core box. So that's why they're going to accommodate there. But with the stretch goals, they don't know if you're going to bother with getting the Eternal Empire expansion box. So who knows? Are they? And I wonder if they're gonna have it on there. So anyway, so there's everything that's on there. There's the flavor text about it. For centuries, the unending wall bordering the Eternal Empire was considered the edge of the world. None but its civilians could pass its gates. Invasion was utterly impossible. It was only much later that the world discovered the reason for the secrecy. Beyond lay a land rich in resources, cultures, and mystical sources of power called Chi. Warriors and wizards alike channel the life force to perform god-like feats. Word of the incredible new power spread across the land. With the necromancer and the necromancers pay attention. Once foreigners were allowed entry, they traveled to the empire, ingratiated themselves with the nobility, and took advantage of the succession war followed the emperor's death. And this is how the Black Plague reached the Eternal Empire. Embroiled in chaos, facing the end of everything, the Eternal Empire, once thought immortal and unconquerable, has fallen to ruin, and yet hope springs eternal, and the last masters of Chi fight on to suppress the zombie horde. They seek any help they can. Will you be the ones to answer the call? So there is an example right there of the gameplay there. It's going to be a story-driven campaign, so 10 quests, allowing you to accumulate experience, skills, and equipment as you go, and then various choices that will go through the campaign from storyline to storyline in there. So you're going to have objective cards, and if you look up here, the objective card goes like onto the tiles. And like I said, it will have one effect on, and it's like numbered and everything. It's going to have one effect of kind of what you see there at first, and then you flip the card over and it has this additional information here with some effect that will last for the rest of the current game you're playing, or throughout the entire campaign, the quest you're doing. So that's going to be pretty cool. So a lot of different things that are going to change the way things are on the board. There are probably going to be cards, hopefully, in here, since they're assuming you have the main core box for White Death. I'm sure there'll be cards that will interact with those tiles from that game, because you're not going to be able to do, I mean, Heroes Resistance does it, but I'm hoping they're not just going to stick to the 4 tiles that came in the box. Hopefully they're going to use, since they know you're going to have the content and you need like the zombies and everything, hopefully they're going to have the content in or use the tiles from the main core box. So we got Power of Chi next. So I was going to point at the screen, but you can't see where I'm pointing at. So the cards here are going to have this Chi symbol right here, meaning Chi tokens are going to need to be used in order to use those abilities, or to power up those abilities. They're going to have like different Chi abilities. They may spend tokens to cast enchantments multiple times, add damage to their attacks, add dice to their rolls, and even activate more powerful skills at lower danger levels. So, yeah, so you're going to get right here damage to combat, and one here, one free combat action right there, one free melee action there if you spend it. So if you need to like hit something one more time, you can use your chi to do that. They're going to replace the equipment deck. So you're not going to use Black Plague Black Plague Green Horde or White Death's deck. So there's a whole equipment deck in Zombicide White Death is replaced with the advanced equipment deck, including some snazzy new Volt weapons. This equipment can have some of their stats enhanced if a survivor makes use of chi with their combat action as indicated on their card. So there is that right there, and you can see here, I think you can see my mouse, so you can see right here and here the chi points that you need for that. But chi is a finite resource, and you do have to meditate in order to do that. So it's going to be an action or possibly multiple actions to do a meditate. But no zombies or corruption can be in the zone that you're in to replenish your chi reserves. They also have the chi statues, which I think also replenish the chi, and they also prevent corruption from hitting that particular zone. They do have a damage side, but they can still prevent the corruption on the damage side. And you can see on the model here, they do have, you can see the line. You can even see it on the artwork here too. They have the line that shows where the damage is going to be. So yeah, so that is going to be that, and then it's going to have the new God Eater Abomination, and that's probably one of its key factors is probably going to be that it's going to go after the statues in its rules somewhere. Let's see. It deepens the meditative state the survivors enter, allowing them to acquire more chi with one action. Okay, so there you go. So you're going to get chi with an action. It looks like if you're going to be near a chi statue, you get more chi with an action. I think that's how I'm gonna interpret it that way until they release the rulebook, or until it shows up in my door a year and a half from now, like other things. So we're gonna also get new zones with ice and bridges. So the bridge can only be entered from one end of the bridge or the other. The ice zones, if you let's see, the sub-zero temperatures will cause small ponds across the map to freeze into ice zones, making them dangerous to walk on. Survivors cannot end their turn on these zones, otherwise they will be plunged into its icy depths and be frozen to death. So that is going to be pretty cool. So it's going to connect the different zones together. There's going to be new ruin zones as well in this. So I do like these new zones. And they're also going to have new walls and everything too that connect to the other walls. I really would like for them to do an optional buy for the walls. I think it would be really, really cool just to show a little bit of scale to all this. I don't know, like I don't need like the building walls. Like you can go on to like online and and people have files for like with Undead or Alive for like the walls of the town and everything to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional and everything. But I don't need the walls of the buildings. I would love just because that'd be too much. But like the walls of the main wall surrounding the city, I think would be great. Also, this does show that it's not just gonna be that straight wall. You're gonna have these curved walls too, so it'll change the map and how the map looks and everything. Not just gonna have one wall in the middle, like the train, like the way the train works in Undead or Alive. So that is going to be pretty cool there. So now we get into the zombies. So we get the Warden Brutes. The Warden Brutes, I'm not going to read through the flavor text because that doesn't actually give much of what they do. But the Warden Brutes found throughout the Eternal Empire prevent any normal attacks from connecting with their fellow zombies, but don't get phased just yet. Survivors may eliminate these brutes by spending chi with any combat actions or with effects that eliminate all actors in the target zone. So you have to use a chi attack to hit the Warden Brutes, but they're going to be kind of like... it didn't say adjacent. It just says in this. I'm assuming it's the same zone, so it's going to act. And this is what popped in my head when I read this. It's going to act like the guard ability from Power Rangers: Heroes of the Grid, where as long as this thing is on the board, the things with it, I'm assuming just in the zone with it, because if you just can't kill anything on the board while one of these guys is out, and there are 8 of them in the box, that's gonna suck. I'm assuming it's in the one zone, but The reason, again, why they're green, again, someone on this page asks this question. I don't know if they got it answered, but I'm assuming the reason why they're green is that way you can identify them from the other brutes and fatties that you might have on the board. So there is going to be that right there. And then we got the God Eater Abomination. This fearsome abomination drains the chi energy right out of the air when it is on the board. Survivors lose one chi every time an abomination card is drawn. What's more, the God Eater will make a beeline for the chi statues, smashing them in a single attack, making it difficult for survivors to gain more chi. So that more indicates that you have to be near the statues to get the chi. So we'll see how that works. There's got to be a mechanic or a move in there to just get chi, like when you meditate, like even to get like one or two, or else if you're using the any character that has chi in a game that if you're using any character that has chi in a game that, or if you're using a character that uses chi in a game that doesn't use chi, like the standard the standard core boxes stuff. My kids are playing something in the other room. I'm sorry. If you can hear that or not. I don't know how you're going to get chi with if the statues aren't on the board. So there's that. The God Eater, that looks awesome. It looks a little bit like with the hair and everything, and just the massive size. It looks a little bit, and you know what? Well, no, that's blood. I was gonna say with the blood, the way they have it on there, it looks like Zangief from Street Fighter a little bit, but maybe not. So anyway, so we're gonna have a whole plethora of survivors. I'm not gonna go through them all. I didn't look to see if these have any historical value either. I can go back and look for the next video. But we're gonna have Jian Ryu, well versed in using chi and her advantage by harnessing energy. She's even able to eliminate brutes with just basic weapons. So no easy feat. So I'm assuming she gets. Oh, actually, we can see her card. Where are you? I can hear my kids yelling in the other room. It's funny. Oh, did I pass it? Or there we are. Where are you? There we go. Yeah, damage 2 in combat. So with chi, she can hit a brute on one attack. So I don't know if it's an additional 2 or she just hits with 2, depending on the weapons. So anyway, so she's gonna be able to do that, and then we've got Xiao, who is one of those simian characters, Kaquin characters. Leaping around obstacles to eliminate his enemy. He's been teaching the guards a thing or two about Kaquin evasion tactics, so he's probably gonna have some movement abilities that he can also use with his guard skill to do that. Yin Ying is gonna be, I don't remember the name. It looks like one of the, I think that's one of the cat rays is, oh yeah, Conran, one of the cat people. It says right there. My gosh. Armed to the teeth, she is ever ready to charge toward the oncoming horde and fight to defend the people. Though she may be outnumbered, she takes advantage of her superior strength to eliminate zombies. So melee bruiser. And then we got the brothers, Shai Zhen and Shai Yang. Shai Zhen is going to be a spellcaster. Shai Yang is going to be a brawler type character. He's also going to have some magic ability though too, and I guess he's going to have some combat ability. So, but they're going to have, look like their specialties there. Then we've got Fing Bao, who's going to probably have some ranged abilities. With that one, I like not every single one of these characters is like, I want this box. This is the box I want. Like, and then it's going to be with all this stuff. Like you're going to want whatever the next thing is, but yeah, so Finbo right there, and then the exclusive bonuses, we have 2 gods coming down in human form. So Shang-Yi, who is the avatar. Shang-Yi has assumed mortal form to battle alongside the Empire's new survivors, bringing hope in the time of despair. While the moon is an object of the night, the moon goddess seeks her primary role as benevolent, providing a soft, soothing light across the world. Shane and her foes somehow catch up to her. I'm down at the bottom now. They will meet with volleys of icy magic, stopping them dead in their tracks. And then her husband, accomplished marksman, so he's going to be a ranged fighter, able to fire multiple arrows in quick succession. In the thick of battle, he might even be able to channel chi from his attack. So that is what's going to be there. There's the box art, $45. This is how you go to choose optional buys. So there is all of that. So Zombicide, Eternal Empire, solidifying the um, uh, the Southern Asian theme of this game. We still have a couple more stretch goals to go through. Defense is the best offense. So with all that, we unlocked finally Chao Ren. No, we unlocked two. No, we unlocked the Tengu. Now we're gonna look to unlock Chao Ren at 980. Okay. He was a general and I think it said second cousin to Tao Tao during the Three Kingdoms era. So he's going to charge headfirst into combat, cleaving armored foes apart while with ease and shoving enemies aside with his massive shield. He deserves a bulwark against the zombies, being able to withstand blows that would easily eliminate any other survivor. So there's that. So he's going to have a shield, definitely, I would assume, as starting equipment. So we'll see how that works out for him. Again, this is I really like this sculpt. This is like a just a beefy sculpt, beefy dude, beefy tank on the board, handling those brutes. It's going to be awesome. Next, because we're at the 45-minute mark here of me filming. Next, we unlocked him, Chao Ren, and now we have Kaishin Yi. I couldn't like this guy just screams I am a historical figure. I am a say he is the god of wealth and prosperity, actually taking a hand in this conflict. Yeah. So I typed in his name, couldn't find anything. If you can tell me what he's actually from, that would be great. But don't let this happy-go-lucky manner fool you. Kaishin Yi is highly proficient with his spells, allowing him to hurl volleys of potent magic across or toward his foes. More often than not, enemy attacks seem to hit items of his rather than causing wounds. His lucky streak seems to even extend towards the friendlies around him, giving the guards a better chance at their attacks. So he's going to bolster the guards' attacks. That seems like it's going to be pretty cool. That's a pretty cool figure right there. He doesn't have any swords or anything, but again, he's going to be some kind of a magic user, being the god of wealth and prosperity. So next is going to be Sly as a Fox, and that didn't refresh at all. Let's see, we unlocked him at 1020, and now we're going to look at Suzuka Gozen, who I have written as a female thief and an oni. So she is going to be another as I guess as far as the stretch goal story goes, as more as the zombie apocalypse gets more and more dire, a lot of the gods of the Asia Pacific region are going to take on, it looks like, human form to help the mortals with making sure the Eternal Empire doesn't fall. So it's pretty cool storyline for that. Just looking at the stretch goals for the other games, I don't see where like I don't see where like the pantheons of the region or anything like that decided to show up, but there's probably a lot of logistical reasons for why. But so we got another character here. This slippery warrior always seems to make her way out of sticky situations. She moves swiftly across the battlefield, dodging and through her enemies. Once in position, she decimates her foes while using magics to smite those that escape her blade. So she's possibly going to have something like the charge ability, I would assume, from Undead or Alive, if they have that in there, or she's just going to have something that allows her to move quicker with her movement actions. So that is pretty cool there. I agree with that person. Great sculpt right there. So yes, another pretty good sculpt, pretty good artwork. Again, liking everything here from Big Child Creatives. This is the last thing that was announced. Now with this right here that I'm highlighting right there, we are at 1067.35. CMON is, if they haven't already, is not going to announce something until we get 300 more. Let me go back to the main page. Let me refresh the main page. What are we at? 29 updates right now. We're going to refresh the page. And we're at 30 updates. So I'm going to stop the video here in just a second because this is technically a day 4 reveal. And it's not near noon, so this is not the daily unlock for the day. So yeah, this is going to be it for me on this. I hope you guys are liking these recap videos. Let me know what your opinions are on the game. I know people have already commented on the other video. I will be commenting on that stuff here soon. I just haven't been home to look through it. So, um, like I said, the way I do these is if an expansion or um, major release of something or a few different big releases with no expansion in sight get released. Sorry for the chair. Get released, then I will do these videos. So Friday, this would have been the Friday video. We'll see if something gets released either Monday or Wednesday or Tuesday. We'll see how they do it. Again, the Zombicide games don't seem to have a lot of expansions. They seem to have a lot of stuff around the expansions. So I don't necessarily want to do a big video every time they come out with like an artist pack or a pack with like 2 or 3 zombies, unless it's like 5 or 6 brutes that need to be looked at. Then we'll kind of do an update. But yeah, that's just gonna be how it goes. Just for my own sanity, I can't do these videos every single day, especially because sometimes it's like 2 stretch goals, so it'd be like a short video. Maybe it would help if I did that, but kind of drive traffic. But I want to make sure, like, if I'm gonna do an update video on these, they have like a purpose kind of thing. So anyway, that's gonna be it for me. That threshold has been met, and we already know that update 30 is on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at that. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this update video on day 2 and 3 of the White Death campaign. Let me know your opinions down below, what your favorite character is so far down below. Let me know if you're mad about stuff down below. I mean, whatever. I know this isn't going to be everybody's cup of tea. And you know what? I'm not a part of CMON, so I don't like, you can vent to me all you want. That's fine. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion on this stuff. The gamer theme's not for you. I completely understand. I understand why people aren't digging this campaign so far. I'm liking it. I think everything looks good. I just can't wait for the Avatar and Dragon Ball references that hopefully we'll get later on. It's only 3 days into a 21-day campaign. A lot of stuff's going to get revealed. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Please like the video, subscribe, please, to the channel. We're just over 130 subscribers right now as of this recording. I'm going to go eat some breakfast, edit this video, and do a mail call video, it looks like, for Masters of the Universe. So if you are interested in that, please let me know in the comments below as well. And I'm going to stop rambling. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.